Hi ladies. This week we are talking about emotional eating, and this is something that is quite normal, quite often seen with moms because we are under a lot of stress, under a lot of pressure. Sometimes pressure can come from outside sources or from ourselves as well. um, we juggle a lot of things, we have little time, we feel overwhelmed, and what do? We go into food seeking for comfort, reward feeling, you know, releasing the dopamine, the happy hormones from sugars, especially from fatty, salty snacks, alcohol quite often. So, you know, if you, for example, the kid is going to sleep, they're having a nap or past bedtime, this is where typically we just go searching through the cupboards, getting the cookies, the alcohol, the wine, the beers, feeling this the reward feeling. And as you probably watched the video before, there's nothing wrong with enjoying the food and using food sometimes, to deal with stress. If you have a really stressful day, well, it's okay to have a pizza, it's okay to have a glass of wine. But if that becomes, every day, and it's obviously problematic for your weight gain, for example, or how you feel afterwards, if you feel guilty or try to kind of, work extra hard in your at the gym or at workouts. Um, Sorry, I'm just checking. Baby's asleep. No, still asleep. Uh, yeah. So if you're punishing kind of yourself because you ate something, that's not obviously a good situation. So this then have to be kind of, well, ideally resolved. So there are two main ways to deal with emotional eating. But the first one is identifying really those triggers, identifying why you are eating, what causes that. So I'll pop in below a worksheet, a very simple worksheet to identify what you've done before that that how do you call it? Well, when you started eating, yeah. What did you do before? What environment you were in? With what people? How did you feel afterwards? This is all kind of to see whether there is a pattern. Because, for example, maybe it's a specific environment that you feel like you really have to eat. At work, for example, on a stressful meeting, that's where you go for cookies afterwards. Maybe kids, maybe husband, maybe mother-in-law, maybe when you talk about finances, I don't know, there might be something that you'll spot. And this is the key to realize why you are eating. And it could be as well from boredom, procrastination. So you just don't know what to do. You're bored. You're going to the fridge, open it. Oh, what's there? Nothing new. Okay, 5 minutes later, you do the same. Um, so it doesn't have to be necessarily stressed. And as I spoke on the lesson before, bottled up emotion, things that we don't speak about, as well can lead to that. So not only just the kind of stresses that we see in our everyday life, but some other things that we don't speak about as well. Um, so identifying those triggers, identifying what makes you eat, what makes you stressed, then allows you to think, what is the strategy for you know either releasing the stress or stopping that emotional eating behavior. So for example, um, you may realize that it's happening. So that's a first amazing step. You realize it's happening or it's going to happen. What can you do instead to take your mind off it? Yeah. So if you're stressed, well, can you go for a walk, take a deep breath? Can you have a bath if it's in the evening? Can you have a relaxing, bath, or put a candle on? Or yeah, things like taking a few deep breaths, going out of the house to the garden, disattaching yourself from the situation can help as well. um, and overall bringing kind of self-care ideas into your life throughout the week. So to cope generally with a kind of chronic stress, that's what we would do. We would look at putting in a week time um, some self-care ideas, like meeting a friend for a coffee, um, cooking a healthy meal, reading a book, anything you like, doing a manicure, um, enjoying a game with your kids, something that really kind of distresses you out. Uh, so all those things together can help. And the other thing is what we are doing anyway throughout the healthy eating throughout the day. So if we put a lot of effort into balanced meals, those, and again, you remember the protein, the vegetables are the key, then again, that will decrease the blood sugar level spikes, which decrease the craving. So the craving, of course, can come from just having a low blood sugar level. So we try to kind of tackle it from two ways. So we tackle it from the nutrition side, and we tackle it from the actual root of the problem side, which is the stress. What is stressing you out, or what is causing that emotional eating, stress eating behavior? So if you if it's something that resonates with you, next time round, for the next few days, just observe yourself, observe what you're feeling. If it happens, just stop stop for a second and think backwards. What did you do for the last 2 hours? What happened just before? What is the most likely thing? And in the sheet I pop down, you can just note it down, print it out, or you can actually fill it on your phone as well. It's a PDF with a form. um, it can just help kind of put your thoughts on paper and actually do the exercise, because it's easy just to forget. We are so busy and just never get around to it. So I hope you find it useful. I hope we can tackle the stress eating and keep doing what you're doing, which is great. I see your meals. They look all very yummy and very balanced, and it's great. So um, by continuing that, this will set you as well. Good action creates motivation. So by eating health, you're less likely going to, oh, baby awake, you less likely going to need those sweets and treats and so on. Okay, thanks.